What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Breaking the Kernel. Al, Garrett, let's get right into it. We got a
What's
lot
up, y'all?
going on. Let's start with the Xbox, with Phil Spencer, the CEO of Xbox, coming out and saying that they're getting ready to dip their toes into the handheld gaming market. This article is from Screen Rant that's saying, despite this exciting news for Xbox fans, Spencer also mentioned that the potential release is still years away. So he announced it, but he also let us know, like most things in gaming, it is years away. That could mean anything between 5 to 20. We don't know.
Did he say years? That's a quote.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, well, at least that's what it seems like. So, I know it's not coming out next year. It's not coming out anytime soon. He basically just said, "Hey, don't be checking for this thing every couple of years." So, Garrett, what is your thoughts on Xbox potentially? Because again, until I see this thing, I'm not going to say it's definitely coming out. But what's your thoughts on potentially Xbox coming into the handheld market, competing with the likes of the Switch, potential Switch 2, with Legion Go, etc., etc.?
No, I think it's a good idea. And I think it's time that try to take another route because they had mild success with what they're doing right now. The Xbox console hasn't been selling that well. Game Pass I think it's been moderately successful. They have a lot of IPs. They have acquired a lot of studios, so if they can come out with a handheld that can play all your like Xbox 360, Xbox One, all your series games, and everything on Game Pass. I think that's at the right price. I think that's a good offer. That's an attractive offer. I would be interested in that. I don't even have an Xbox right now. I do plan on getting one, but I'd be interested in that for sure.
No, and honestly, you should get one because Target is funny, and there's also news. So Target has been putting the Xbox, I forgot what the recent one is, the Xbox X or Series X or whatever. They've been having it's supposed to be, I think, like around $450 or something. And you can get it for like $350 something. So there are Targets where they have the Xbox wrongly priced, but they have to honor it. So if you're at your local Target, you see an Xbox that's priced wrong. Not that you did anything to it,
Series
but it's
X
priced
or
wrong.
Series S?
That's a good question. I forgot which one it is. I haven't done it. I don't plan on getting an Xbox, but I know it's the newer one. So whatever. I know they came in like two at the same time, but like the newer one still, for people who do not have consoles at all, is still a console. So it's available for basically almost like $100 cheaper than it's supposed to be, and that's a steal. So that's just something to note there. With that being said, and it's multiple Targets too, by the way. I don't know why it's like a lot of Targets, because this confirmed happened because I've seen it and I've had friends see it, so I know for a fact that is true, which is a huge blunder on Target's part because that's that's a lot of money. Back to this handheld news. It is interesting because people are saying, "Oh, it's too late." I don't know how it's ever too late to get into the
Too
handheld
late for
console.
what?
I think it's because now it's like, before it was like the only handheld really was like the Switch. Now you have the Legion Go and some of the other things that run Steam Deck that run either Steam, or I think the Legion Go, you can also run your Xbox library, I believe, your Game Pass library, I believe. I could be wrong.
Run your Game Pass games.
I believe so.
You probably can if it's running Windows. You can run Game Pass. Like there's no restriction on that as far as I know. So if you can run Windows 10 or 11, you can run Game Pass. Like,
exactly. So that's basically what they're saying. They're like, what's the point if we already have something that's out that runs very well? And why would you do, like, what was the point? Especially, the more time you take, the more you give Legion, Switch, all these other handhelds to get more time under their belt to do a Legion 2, or like do all these updates. Or, I mean, I doubt it's going to happen, but let's say like Windows 12 comes out, or not 12. What they on Windows 11 right now, right? So let's say Windows 12 comes out and Legion Go can run it because they're already ready. There's so many factors that can make this a real. Because the only thing that make Xbox, that handheld, really cool is you'll be able to run your Game Pass on the go. But there's already things that do that exist. So are you going to? I don't even know if you can do this. Are you going to like take away the rights for Legion Go and some other consoles that can run Windows and not let
No,
them
you
use
can't
Game
do that.
Pass? Like, what? I don't know what the end game here is. I would just make money licensing Game Pass or some exclusive or whatever to Legion Go and just make more. It will cost you more money. I mean, not cost you. It will cost you, in my opinion, more money, obviously, to make these handhelds and too much risk of this not working compared to something that's already works and you can just license your, which they're already doing. They're already licensed like Sony, all the other. You might as well just keep licensing and just make your money. I don't know the strategy behind this.
I
I
don't know
think
either.
you need to succeed because they're already struggling selling Xboxes. I mean,
They
things
are.
are like discounted by $100, and people still not buying the shit. So it's like at the end of the day, and this is no disrespect. I grew up on Xbox. Like, I love Xbox, but at the end of the day, their exclusives. We talked about it before. Their exclusives are like, why am I buying this handheld? Like, what is this handheld? Is a price point? Okay, you're gonna say this. If you're gonna say the price point is gonna be really affordable, but at the same time now, do not give me specs of the Switch because your Game Pass will not be able
No,
to
no, no,
run
no, no.
any
It
of the
can't have the specs of the
games.
Switch. It has to be
That's
on the power level
that's
of
them.
a Steam Deck or a Legion Go. It has to be a. It has to be a. I'm not gonna say it has to be the most powerful handheld console, but it has to be in the ballpark. It has to be competing with power wise. It has to be competing with the Steam Deck and the Legion Go. I think if they can't do something light, mobile esque like the Switch and call it an Xbox handheld. That doesn't. I don't think that aligns with their marketing strategy of having like the most powerful console ever. That was the marketing behind the Xbox Series X when it launched against the PS5. It was the most powerful console ever, and at the time it was. So you can't release a handheld Xbox Series whatever and have it not be either the most powerful or one of the most powerful handheld consoles you can buy. You know what I mean? That doesn't. I don't think that works. It has to
It
be
doesn't,
powerful. Yeah.
and that's why I don't see. Excuse me. I don't see the strategy behind this because I just don't. It's just going to cost so much money that they already like. Okay, because if you're going to come out with a new Xbox, let's just say, unless you're going to ditch a new Xbox and just come out with the handheld instead, that makes more sense. But if you're going to come out with a new Xbox and then a new handheld and still don't have no exclusives, what do we? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any. It just I don't
Yeah.
know. We're not in the boardroom, so we don't know. Maybe they have a whole strategy, but based on their history, the last like 10 years, I highly doubt it. That's all I'm saying. I just don't. I don't know because
They
would it be
could do
nice?
that though.
Yes. What happened?
They could do that though. Like they could, if they like if they think to themselves, okay, like when we're competing, we're trying to compete with Sony to sell consoles and we're losing, right? So is that worth continuing that fight? You know what I mean? Are we still going to compete with Sony, fighting an uphill battle that we're losing and it's only getting worse hardware wise? Software wise, different story, hardware wise. Or should we take a different path, and model it after what Nintendo does or what Steam Deck has been doing or what Legion Go has been doing and just release a new Xbox that's going to be a handheld where it's just an you can take it with you, but you can also download your Xbox. I don't know what to call it, but they could take. Obviously, it's not going to be as powerful. It's not going to be as
Your
powerful.
mic's breaking up like a little bit, so it's hard to hear you.
It's
But
breaking up.
yeah, but I can hear you now.
Oh, okay, hold on. Obviously, it's not going to be as powerful as Pro. It's handheld, but they could, make it. I don't know, as powerful as the Xbox Series X, because this is going to be a next generation console, right? Not this gen, it's going to be next gen. So they can make it as powerful as like an Xbox Series X, or make it graphically as performative, like with maybe some type of DLSS upscaled resolution, or using what is it called? AMD FSR. They could try something like that. I think that could work. I mean, the Xbox loyalists who just want a powerful box, they're not gonna like it. But if you're selling something to the massive casual user out there who's gonna play, Minecraft and Fortnite, that might work for them. But I mean, I don't know. It's a different strategy for sure. But they could try it and see what happens. But
I feel you, but there's too many
is my mic
millions
better?
of dollars
Does it
at
sound better?
stake. Yeah,
Okay.
there's too many. There's too much at stake. This is the thing. I can understand this is like for shits and giggles, but it's not. Like this is years of development and time, and I just don't know how you go. Again, you have to have it because the thing is, unless this thing's gonna be just as powerful as it. Because the problem is, again, like I'm saying, because it is Microsoft themselves doing this, whatever console you come out with, handheld, has to run your library. If it cannot run your
Yeah.
library to perfection, you might as well not waste your time. Two, if you cannot beat Sony and you expect to go to Nintendo that's been doing this for a minute and competing, I don't know. I don't know. At that point, the CEO needs to step down because that's a bad idea. You spent like almost like what, how since what 2001 competing against Sony, and then just to go and now and waste, not even waste. I won't say waste, but use your resources to go against Nintendo, who already has their ecosystems. They already have their established legacy characters. You can't even make whatever's going on with the new formed, or not new formed, but newly titled Halo Studios. We don't know what's going on with Gears of War. We don't know what's going on with any exclusives they even have left.
They got new Gears coming. They got new Gears coming.
They do, but it's like,
Nah, they got a new Gears. We know what's going on. It's coming out. We know what's going on. They told us.
They do. They do. But if this thing doesn't come out in the next year, that means the next like 2 years or something. Like, let's say this is another like 5 or so year project. You're not going to delay Gears and Halo to match this thing. That would just be dumb because your console right now is not performing well. So you have to sell that. So I don't know. We'll see though. I mean, because the price point is also something.
They don't have to sell that though. Like I think have you seen the new ad that came out recently? It was like, this is an Xbox, and it was like everything that could potentially be an Xbox, like whatever, a Fire Stick, a laptop, everything's an Xbox, right? Okay, so I think they're going towards we'll sell a console as an option to people that want that, but we don't not to say that we don't really care. That's probably not the right word. We selling you a console or playing our games on our device isn't our top priority. You can play our games wherever you are, on whatever device you have, whether that's a laptop, whether that's a Fire Stick, whether that's a PlayStation. And if PlayStation ever allows Game Pass, which I fucking doubt, I highly doubt they'll ever allow Game Pass on PlayStation. But I think that's their priority. Like, we want you to subscribe to Game Pass to pay for our software so we can be the #1 publisher of all these titles. Call of Duty, Doom Eternal, or the next Doom, whatever it's going to be called, the Dark Ages. They care about you playing their software wherever you want to play them, as long as you're paying for it. That's what I think. So they'll provide a console. If people out there that want an Xbox, you can have one, but we don't really mind if you play it elsewhere. That's their strategy. So I don't think they care, like, if you play it somewhere else. I don't think they care.
But that's the thing, is that you cannot have that mindset if your idea is to make to make a handhold. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Because that again goes to what I said before, that everyone and their mother has access to your Game Pass now. That's whether it's on your Xbox or not. So why the fuck would you go and be like, we're going to create a handheld console? I think it's cool. You know me, I'm going to fucking buy it. I'm going to buy it. But I'm just saying, like, and that's because I don't have an Xbox.
I don't have an Xbox. All right.
If I have the money, I haven't bought an Xbox since before the Xbox One. Or maybe the Xbox One was my last Xbox console. And that's just because...
So, let me ask you this question, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you think it makes more sense, or would you be more willing to buy a handheld console if Sony made a handheld console, because you're saying that Sony has more of a lockdown ecosystem, that you can only play their games within their PlayStation store, within their PlayStation library, so you think that it's more attractive in that way? Because I can't play PlayStation games. Well, some games on PlayStation came out on PC, but besides those titles, majority of PlayStation games you can only play within the PlayStation ecosystem. So you're saying that if they released a handheld, it'd be more attractive because now I can play Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man, Last of Us, whatever else, and I can't do that on my Legion Go. I can't do that on my Steam Deck. Or do you think it makes it more attractive that it's open source like Xbox is like just play it anywhere? Which one would you rather?
I think that it goes to like the Apple versus Android to me. I think if like for example, to answer your question,
Hmm.
I could well first okay, I'll say this for me personally, I'm not much of a handheld guy because of my eyes, and I also
Hmm.
just really like sitting because usually when I'm playing games, I'm like I'm not somewhere else. Like I'm at home. My TV is big enough. Like I have a whole system, stuff like that.
Yeah, you got the
That I
whole
can't
theater
replicate.
down that jump.
Yeah, so I don't really do handhelds too much. My brother's a handheld person more than me. But if I like, let's just say hypothetically, I do not. But let's just say I had kids or something, or like little cousins. I have a little cousin, so let's say I had little cousins or something like that. Anyway,
Yeah,
either
the
like
little ones
young
come over.
people, little ones come over, they want like something to play. I know I like the Sony exclusives, like what's called Astrobot, for example, where that's something that kids can play, and I think that's something that can run really well on a handheld console. So that's that's what I'm saying. Like Sony, I feel like has other exclusives like that are not just like The Last of Us or like games that are like a little bit too mature for like a handheld. Because handheld are usually not saying adults can't have it, but usually younger people have a lot more handhelds because they're
Hmm.
more on the go. They're more doing all this stuff. They're more like with their friends over their friend's house, all that stuff. And we're done with the era of like, yo, Gary, I'm gonna go bring my PS5 to your like. We're not doing that. So it's like
Yeah,
handhelds are a
for,
little more convenient. And I think the ecosystem and the games on Sony's standpoint would make more sense. Now,
hmm
again, people have the Legion, people have the Steam Deck. They really love it. They love the access to the Steam and library and the Game Pass library. So I'm just saying, like, there's already a version that exists, like multiple versions that exist of a potential Xbox handheld that you already like you already give them the permission to do what your handheld's already going to do. So I just don't know what making your own is going to do when it's going to cost you more money and may not work. Where you can just make so much more money continuing to just license your stuff to like Steam Deck and Legion Go and all these things. Let them make the
yeah.
hardware mistakes. Let them
Hmm.
struggle with sales with their handhelds. You have the fucking Xbox. You have the
Yeah, that
software.
makes
You have
sense.
the
That makes
publishing.
more sense. Yeah, no, that makes more
Is
sense.
my thing. I mean,
That makes more sense for sure. Only thing I
it's
would
not like
say
the
is like,
Xbox
not
is
that
not
they would,
brain.
not that they would care, not that they would necessarily go through the headache of creating it, making it easy for the gamer. But for the casual gamer, I think that the interface of Legion Go, I haven't really used Legion Go at all. I haven't used it at all. I used the Steam Deck a couple times, and the interface is from what on the Steam Deck is good as far as like not being like Windows on a tablet, but they actually have like you can boot into like a launcher, like a Steam Deck, like a mobile
Yep.
Steam Deck launcher that is easy to navigate, and you can select what games you want. You can install, uninstall rather easily. But you can also like boot into Windows on the Steam Deck too, where it just looks like Windows. And Legion Go, I'm not sure if it's similar or what, but I think Xbox, because they have more experience with the user interface, making user interfaces for the console, they can kind of make a mobile version of the Xbox Live or the Xbox user interface, like the Xbox OS, on their mobile device and make it more familiar to Xbox users to have like the interface, the menus, the slide pop outs, party chat, all that stuff that would look like what you are familiar with when you use an Xbox. That would be the only like advantage I would think would be the interface, like the OS. If that's the case, I guess they can like partner with Legion Go or partner with Steam Deck to have like an Xbox overlay. If they just wanted to do that, they could do that. But like, why go through the trouble of making the hardware just to have a better interface
That's
when you're gonna play the
that's
same games? Like that. That's kind of yeah. That's kind of
that's what
like
I'm
a catch
saying.
22.
There's so much more money and time saved to just be like, yo, Legion Go, yo, anyone that's not Nintendo, because Nintendo laughed them out of the way in the '90s, early 2000s. Like, yo, y'all want to compete with this shit? Like, we're done
Yeah.
burning money with doing all this console shit. We will give you the library. We will even go our way to make games that are more customizable for your thing, especially with like Legion Go and stuff, where you can damn near mirror your actual desktop, because it's Windows, so you can like you have all access to all that stuff. 'Cause at this point, I much rather Microsoft just be like, fuck it, we're just gonna go make our own computer. At that point, you might as well, that would be make more sense to go than to do a handheld. I know it's exciting to be like, oh, handheld. I don't want to burst people's bubbles. I still think it would be interesting. I just don't. I just cannot. And maybe it's just right now, like just me, us just talking about off the rip. But I just can't see like the benefits to that. But we'll see. We'll see. So the news is Microsoft is making potentially a handheld console. I will see if they don't walk that back. But I do really agree with what you said. I would just be like, yo, like Legion Go or someone, like just partner up with them, buy them out, do whatever. At that point, it would make more sense to just buy them, one of these companies out, and just be like, okay, we'll keep y'all, but just like have the Xbox overlay, have access to games early, have something you can link it to your Xbox Series X and S. You can do this and that. Like you might as well. It just makes more sense to give them the keys, and then to do your own thing, and then compete against someone who has the exact same games as you. Every exclusive you have, they will have. Like it doesn't. It's not it's not mathing. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's almost like they're competing against themselves at the end of the day. And they already didn't they already give some of their exclusives already going to PlayStation, right? Like Gears of War or something. Like they already started doing something like that earlier, right?
Not Gears, but some of them, yeah. What was it? Indiana Jones, I think, is coming to PlayStation.
Yeah, like what the fuck we doing? Come on, enough. You know what I'm saying? Like you.
Yeah, there's some other ones that come to PlayStation.
Yeah, let's.
No, the more I think about it, like I would like an Xbox Steam Deck, air quotes, that has an Xbox interface that looks like Xbox Live, that you have your gamer tag, you have all your arcade points, you have everything that you accumulated, you can see all your achievements from, way back in 2010 to now. I would like that. But in order to, that would be the appeal of it. It would be the interface and the nostalgia of it. It would be familiar to me. See everything I've done back on the Xbox 360 to now. Other than the same games. So at the end of the day, is it really worth it for them to go through that so that people can play the same games on their hardware? And we all know profit margin, none. So like, what would be the point? Like, and I'm not asking that like to be an asshole. Like I'm really like asking that question to myself, and I can't answer it. Yeah, like
because they've done this before. Like here's the thing. This is the last thing we'll say before we move on, but it would also have to be at a very because of how how they basically gave their shit to everybody. The price point would have to be very competitive.
I think it has to be 500.
Yeah, it would have to be like 5 to 4, like 4 to 500.
Because Steam Deck is what?
It couldn't
like 6?
Be. Yeah, I think the Steam Deck's the
Legion's
cheapest
like
one.
6, 7 or something like that.
Yeah, no, Legion goes. It's bread. Legion goes. Bread.
Oh, okay, it's more than that. Okay, yeah, I think 500 would be.
Yeah,
good.
I think that. So that's and that's the thing. I don't see the price. Like, that's the only way they can compete. That's what they did with the Xbox versus the PS5, and that's still, because again, until you build and that's the thing that I think we lost with video games, and this is my opinion, but exclusives weren't just about like fanboys and doing it. The whole point of exclusives was come by our system. Because you cannot play this without our system.
Yeah.
And that's what point of the commercials. You remember those? You remember Halo 3? Remember how many fucking commercials for Halo 3 they made? The same thing with the shield and then the whole Lincoln.
The bubble shield.
Yeah. So and they even play that movie theaters. Like that was the whole point of marketing is because you're like, hey, we have this thing. I know you heard about it. I know, but this is before YouTube became what it is now, where you can, like anyone can just go look up gameplay and all that shit. Before it's like, damn, I can't really see this gameplay, so they had to make commercials and do all these things. Like, yo, this is what we have. You heard about it in like chat rooms or whatever, GameFAQs.com or something, but this is what it looks like. Now come to us because you can't get this if you play the PS3 or you play the Wii. You have to come here. And I feel like when you lose exclusives or you lose the pride in your exclusives, this is some of the shit you get. And I just don't, I don't understand. We'll see. We'll see. I think when we get more details, we get some specs, we get something. This will do. But this is giving me the exact same thing. This is giving me the exact same feeling that Sony gave me when they announced the PlayStation Pro. It was just kind of the PS5 Pro was kind of just like, hey niggas, we got some. please still buy our shit because by the way, type shit. So we'll see. But to be fair to Phil Spencer, he did say, listen, a little birdie told me, like, he's not the CEO, but he's like, a little birdie told me that they're like, he talked like a, that's the thing that pissed me off. This nigga talking like, no, it's just like the funny that how he said it just made it sound like he was some like low level engineer who was like, I got some plans on my desk one day about, like, no, nigga, the CEO, like, you push this. This is,
right.
We understand, so we'll see. And this is the reason why I was like, do not tell people things until you have something to show us.
Right.
Because, you know, what we're doing. But, to move on to our next segment, we got a segment where we didn't tell Garrett about. This is gonna be really fun. There's a little game here. And I kind of want this to be a regular segment because I think it'll be fire. But this is a ranking game. Now, there are 5 spots, and I want you to blindly rank these 5 games in order from 1 to 5. 1 being the greatest, 5 being the least.
Okay.
And you're not gonna, it's blind because you're not gonna know what game is coming next. All right. So,
but I don't know the category though. Like, what am I ranking them against? Like,
it's just the greatest. Like, you're, in terms of what you think is just the greatest game.
How good the game is.
Yes.
Okay. 1 to 5.
1 to 5.
All right. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give you one. I'm just gonna say the name of it, and you have to pick. This is going 1 through 5. You have to put it.
Yeah. Go. Yeah. I got you.
You have to lock it in. All right.
I got you, Slim.
The first one is Mario 64.
Oh my God.
Where we put it? Mario 64.
Damn. Shit. I don't know the other games you're gonna say, but Mario 64. Damn.
Yes, sir.
That's like, I'm gonna have to put that. I might have to put that number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah.
All
It could be 1, but I don't know what else is coming, so go ahead.
All right. We're gonna go with Halo 3.
That's 4.
Okay, so you're gonna go Halo 3 put in 4? All right. And then Mario, you're putting number 2. All right. We're gonna go with Uncharted 4.
Uncharted 4 right there. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
4 right there. Gotta put it up. I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna put it above. Hey, Uncharted 4. Damn.
You have 1, 3, and 5 left.
I know. I would put Uncharted, Halo 3, Mario 60. Okay, Mario 64 is definitely above that. Halo 3, that's so close, bruh. Uncharted 4. I think the greatest Uncharted is Uncharted 2. So I'm going to put Uncharted 4 at 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I honestly, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. All right, we got Call of Duty 4.
Modern Warfare?
Yes, sir.
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. You're talking about 2008.
Yes, sir. You got number 1 and number 3 slots left.
Damn, that's 3. What's number 1 though? Like, come on, man. Don't say something dumb like Pokemon. Come on, man.
Before I say this, I just want to make sure you're locking in Call of Duty 4 at number 3.
Am I putting that above Halo and Uncharted? Yeah, I am. 3. MW4. Go ahead.
All right. The
number
one that you're putting at number 1 is The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're good. We made it, y'all. We made it. We made it, y'all. We're good.
You clutched it.
Woo, we got hot in there.
I'm not gonna lie. I did not expect you to put not The Last of Us, sorry, Uncharted number 5. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, man.
I just
so I
didn't
got
expect that.
number one, Last of Us. Number two, Mario 64. Number three, Modern Warfare 4. Number four, Halo 3. Number five, Uncharted 4. Yeah, I think that's right. I did good on that. Give myself a pat on the back.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's RG
I really was hoping that
you're trying to make me mess up. See, look at you.
I was. I even said it a little bit out of the order. I was gonna say it just so I can a little shuffle, a little something. I just wanted to see because I really hoping you were going to put like Mario at number one or like.
I was about to. I was like, I can't shoot up on the first one. That's a mistake because I know you got a trick up your sleeve.
I was hoping I got you the Mario, man. Damn, but that's a good one. I'm happy that you got a list out there. I think that's a pretty solid list, honestly. I don't think I would change it any different.
Mm-hmm.
Because graphically and story wise, Uncharted 4 to me is like the better one.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't put it above Halo, in my opinion. For me, I can't put it against Call of Duty just because of how much I love Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Or Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Mario 64, I mean, it's Mario 64. And then Last of Us is just, it's a fucking movie that you can play. So, yeah. It's hard. It's hard. That's a hard one. I don't envy anybody, but I wouldn't, if someone had a different list, I wouldn't tell them they're wrong, basically, is what I'm trying to say with that.
For sure.
But yeah, so that's blind rankings with Garrett. Let's see, y'all let us know how he did. Let us know what your list would be. Again, just so people can get it and play for themselves. It is Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, Mario 64, Uncharted 4, Halo 3, and The Last of Us. Those are the games you have to choose from. Rank them. Test your friends. Okay, last but not least, this man, Garrett, caved. After 2.5 episodes of us talking about it, yes, because after 2.5 episodes of us talking about it, this man hit me up after not talking to me for weeks and said, I've been in a training arc because I had to go buy a PlayStation 5 Pro. Explain yourself, my man. What made you after, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it yet. And what made you buy it?
See, there you go. You said it right. I said, I did
and
not
you got
plan
the
on
first wave of this shit. So stop bullshitting. Tell us why. Tell us what made you cave. For a man that has 2 PS5s, what made you go get a third?
Good question. All right, so look. First reason is I thought it was going to be sold out. Like I wasn't doing the whole, fighting the online waves, and I did not expect it to just be available. Like just go buy it, just online, add to cart, check out. I didn't expect that to be the case. So I didn't do the pre-order thing. Well, actually I did pre-order it, but after it was available because I thought it was going to be sold out. So I'm not fighting through that. Anyways, that's first reason. Second reason, I planned on getting it. I just didn't plan on getting it right away because of that reason, and because I wanted to get a new OLED monitor, like a high-end OLED monitor with a high refresh rate I can use with my PC and I can use with my PS5 Pro. So that was the reason. I don't have the monitor yet. I planned on getting both of them later, but I was like, all right, well, reason number one, I wasn't going to get it because it was going to be sold out. When I saw that it wasn't sold out, I was like, well, it's available. I do plan on getting it later eventually, anyway. And I was like, I don't have the monitor yet, but I can buy it now, play it for the holiday season. I have time off of work, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, so I actually have some time to do some gaming. And then when I do, like Q1, Q2 next year, get the high-end OLED monitor that I've been wanting, then I'll pair the two and they'll be like, they'll complement each other the way they're supposed to. But right now, I have half of what I need to get the most out of the PlayStation 5 Pro. I just did it in 2 pieces instead of doing it in one later. Put it like that, if that makes sense. That's why I did it. And, I like new shit, we say. Like, I kind of caved a little bit, what I mean? Just a little bit. I did plan on getting it. I just didn't plan on getting it right away. But yes, my good sir, if you must know.
This is who they made it for. I just want y'all, if y'all need a physical representation of what they made this shit for last second,
who am I?
People like this man.
Who are people like me?
You know exactly who you are.
Nah, you need to explain to the people who I am, who the person is that they made it for. Describe them.
They know.
They made it for people like you who fill in the blank.
I'll leave it to the audience. Y'all comment below.
Oh man, come on, man.
Then my question to you
is, stand on that shit.
After you had it, I mean, you bought Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
I did.
I mean,
Yeah.
tell us about it. What's going on? What's the difference? Do you see? Is it a whole new world? Are you damn near like what's it called? Going into the game?
Blown away.
Like,
oh my god, look at this!
yeah,
Like
is it
PlayStation
like,
7. Like,
yeah, like what's up? What's good?
all right, I ain't gonna lie. Like Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Um, at the moment, I do not believe it has a PS5 Pro enhancement. I don't think it's been patched for PS5. Um, so honestly, it looks like the same shit, to be honest with you, than the PlayStation 5. There's one game though that I've been playing. It's a racing game called The Crew Motorsport, or no, The Crew Motor Fest. I don't know, but me and Javon play that game a lot, and that game has another. And it's good on PS5, but it has an active PS5 Pro enhancement, and I can see the difference, like night and day. It still runs at 60 frames per second, but the graphical like detail, it's a lot more detailed. Like when you're racing, doing 120, 130 miles an hour through, because the game takes place in Hawaii, so like when you're racing through the streets of Hawaii, like the street signs are a lot like they're rendered a lot more clear and a lot more detailed. You can see a lot more in the distance. You can switch vehicles between like cars, boats, and planes, and you can see like a lot more of the environment is rendered in the distance that wasn't there before when I go back on PS5 and see. So like, and that's a game that like has a lot of it's like it takes place on a tropical island, so it's very visually what's the word I'm looking for? Like impressive as far as like just the landscape, the mountains, the water, the trees, the beaches, and all that stuff. So just seeing that rendered in the distance a lot more clearly. And when you're racing, you can just see a lot more detail on the road, like the reflections in the puddles, the skid marks of the tires, little stuff like that. You do notice a difference. So I would say that's been the one game that I've noticed like a night and day difference. But with Call of Duty Black Ops 6, nah, I don't even think there is a difference yet until they make a patch for it. So, and Xbox owns that now, so they might not even make a patch for it. To be honest with you,
Chill out.
they might not. So that's my experience so far. Have I played anything else? I downloaded Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered. The first Horizon Zero Dawn, because the new one's called Horizon Forbidden West. So Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered for the PS5 with the PS5 Pro enhancement, and it looks really good, bro. It looks like PC, like you would think. Someone told you, yeah, this is running on a high-end PC with an RTX 4080. You'd be like, yeah, I believe you. Like, this shit look that good. Like, it looks
That's
that
what's
good.
up, though.
Yeah.
At least, hey, if you don't regret your purchase, that's all I hope for anybody who does it. For me personally, if I was ever to get it, it had to be like the anniversary edition. I think that one looks sick. But yeah, it's nice to know that you folded before me. So with that being said, that's the end of the episode. We appreciate y'all. Again, hopefully when we do get more games that are like, compatible with that PS4, PS5 Pro, and that do show differences or that can optimize it, and then you get your screen or your monitor that can optimize that as well. I'd definitely love to see the difference, or I guess revisit this and see if there's any difference that you feel like is worth it in terms of graphic. At the end of the day, that's what this really is. I feel like it's just a graphical update that can help with rendering and stuff like that, especially playing some like a racing game, which to me, racing games are underrated. They're underrated, and I think out of all the games out there, even first-person shooters, I think racing games have the potential, hardware-wise and graphic-wise, to take leaps and bounds that we never thought was possible. Like, when you see, like, anime or video games or whatever, where it's like someone gets sucked into the video game or whatever, racing games, I feel like they're one game where you can become truly, like, VRPG or whatever it's called. Like, you can like really be immersive. Like, I think like it's only a matter of time before you get a headset where it's like you are in the, whether you're like in a plane, you're in a cockpit, or like you're in a driver's seat, you're like that. I mean, it's already kind of happened with these like those big machines where you hop in, but it's going to get smaller where it's like you just have like a controller with the reason why PS5 controllers die so quickly is all that feedback and stuff that they're trying to incorporate. I feel it's only a matter of time before racing games have that, where it's like you're really in something, where it's like, they did it with PS2, where you remember the racing reels came out, when that thing with the pedals and stuff. It's only a matter of time before you start having that, but like you have a headset with it now. and you're really in it, and it has like fans, whereas like it has wind. You see the wind resistance. I mean, in DC they have the F1 racing bar. I don't know if you've been to that yet, but they have the F1 racing bar.
We gotta go.
We do. We got F1 racing bar, and it looks freaking epic. And my friends went last weekend, and
I liked it.
They liked it. So
Yeah.
that's definitely something that, like, you know, like, so there's stuff like that where those are things. So it's only a matter of time. I think this is more of laziness. Like, I think, you know, they kind of just, oh, racing games like racing games. No, like, racing games should be invested in a lot more, because I feel like that will be the first one they can really make super immersive compared to because the first person shooter they tried with the Wii. The Wii was the first real attempt when they did the Wii gun, and you can put the nunchucks in, and you can, like, you know, use the actual, like, your Wii gun as the remote.
Yeah.
It was, because it was like 2009.
Yeah.
It was like 2009. And the Wii, like the Switch, cannot fully run a Call of Duty game. So look, and not only did it look terrible.
Can't. Although Call of Duty was on the
can't
Wii.
run it.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare was on the Wii. I remember that. Just to put it out there.
And that was...
I don't know who bought it, but it was out there.
World at War was the one that was on... I think World at War was the first Call of Duty that was on the Wii, I think. But yeah, it was a whole thing. And so yeah, first person shooter is harder, but I do anticipate eventually there will be, just like the PS5, I think, has the headset thing too, but like, these gaming companies make these headsets or like for Microsoft when they made the, what's that thing called? The Kinect. And it's like, they don't invest into it. Like, you know, you need to invest in. The closest I think they did was with, not like Kinect Sports and stuff like that. I mean, like how they did with Skyrim, where like you could use like for those who haven't played Skyrim, you're like something called Dragonborn, and you have like these voice attacks you can use. And when you have the Kinect version, you can say the command and it will use the attack. Like, that's something that I think is an underrated part of gaming that we should get into, especially with controllers now having the mic or like, you know, mic in it. Like, if you play 2K, you literally hear the audience and the stadium, all that stuff, and that feedback. It's only a matter of time. I mean, like, what are we doing? If the controller's gonna have all that feedback stuff, is like, start making it matter in games. That's like the next step to me. Graphically, games are amazing. They're gonna continue to get amazing, but if you're telling me the graphics will stay where it's at now, Switch needs to work on it. But if you're talking about like PS5 graphics are where it's at, cool, I'm fine with that. Now we can work, like, let's start working on the other aspects of gaming. They can make it, like, imagine Gears of War, bruh, with like, even if you take the headset off, like, with, like, that chain, like, let's say you chainsaw someone, and the feedback, it's like, you really feel that, you know what I'm saying, like, that kind of stuff would make it, like, a 4D experience. Like, that's a movie, like, remember movie theaters used to have those seats, whereas, like, 4D, and have you fucking, like,
yeah, the turbo theater, that joint used to be like,
them joints. Yeah, bro. You have to sit like in the very front. It'd be those two lone seats. You have to just like sit right up close to the screen and shit, and just be like, "Look,
I used to love those
only two people shaking the theater and shit." So there's stuff like that. So I say there's so much evolution that gaming can do. Like, I need people to understand, gaming's not even close to being at its final form. It's just a matter of who's going to take that first step, and that's why if I'm a Microsoft, I'd want to be the first person. That's why if I'm a Microsoft, I'm not wasting time on a handheld console. I'm saying, hey, this Xbox Series X, we can make pro versions, like just like they made the Xbox One thing, like the whatever it was, like the slimmer versions, like all that stuff. They have their own pro versions. It's like, I'd rather sell that. Wait, and then let's work on that game. Like, we are publishers, we are software. Like, if anyone can do it, if anyone has money and a talent pool to do it, we can do it. Especially now they have Call of Duty. Like, they got bread, bro. Like, let's focus on pushing our exclusives. Like, that was something I want from Microsoft. Like, give me an exclusive that has something where it's like it can push gaming to the next level. So that's some of the stuff I'm looking at, but we'll see. But don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. The podcast is also now available to listen to on YouTube. You can listen to on the Sauceless Entertainment YouTube channel.
Is the video up on YouTube or is it just audio?
Entertainment channel. This boy said a great question.
Yeah. You said listen on YouTube.
Video?
That's what you just said.
I did say listen.
But you meant like you can watch it and listen to it?
No. The video will be available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. See you on the next one. Peace out.